So is the screen visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So integrator operation, basically this is an inverting op-amp. To this inverting op-amp, instead of a feedback resistance, we are going to connect a feedback capacitance. We replace that feedback resistance with a capacitor. This integrator is going to convert, if you are going to give a square wave as input, it is going to give a triangular wave. If you are going to give sine wave, it is going to give cosine wave. If you are going to give a step input means like this. The input signal will be like this. Step input, it is going to give a ramp output. Okay, so this is the specialty of this, and usually this kind of integrators or differentiator, this kind of the op amps will be used in the medical applications, mainly where we need to convert one form of signal to another form of a signal. So as I give you some example at the beginning. Now, whenever a capacitor is given, see in all the other cases, we used to start with applying the KCL. But whenever a capacitor is being given, first write the capacitor voltage and a charge relationship. Can anyone tell me the equation for the relationship between the capacitance, charge and the voltage?
Q is equal to CV.
Yeah, Q is equal to CV. So for Q is equal to CV, again the charge is the charge on the capacitor, fine. C is the capacitance of the capacitor, fine. But what about the voltage of the capacitor? See here, the capacitor is connected between two terminals, right? So we need to take, whenever it is in between two terminals, what we need to take? What we need to take?
Difference.
Difference, potential difference. Vg minus V0. This is V0, this is Vg. And from virtual ground concept, we know that Vg is equal to 0. So in this case, Q will be equal to minus C into V0. Take this as equation number 1. Now, again, we are having a relationship between the current and the charge. Basically, what do you mean by current? Flow of charges, right? With some set of charges is going to constitute a current. So can I tell the integration of all these things is going to give a current? So I can write Q is equal to 0 to T I into dt. So this is one relationship which we are already having. Again now, the current what we have taken here, it is a current which is flowing through R1.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, there is some sort of disturbance, sir, when you are speaking.
Okay, just a minute.
How about now? Is it the same or
Now
is it
now
clear?
it's fine. Fine.
Clear.
Okay. So we have the equation Q is equal to integration of 0 to T I into dt. Now, the current through the resistance R1 is from Vi to the virtual ground. So now we can write an equation for I as Vi minus Vg divided by R. So it is R1. So make it as R1, or if you can take it as R, it as R. Okay, anything you can do. And again by virtual ground concept, so Vi minus 0 by R1, that is equal to Vi by R1 or R. Anything you can take. So we got to know the I value. Now we are just substituting it in equation number 2. So take this as equation number 3. On substituting 3 in 2, we get Q is equal to integration of 0 to t Vi by R1 into dt. Here, which is the constant value and which is the variable value? Among this, which is constant and which is variable?
Resistance is constant.
Yes, resistance is constant. Take it outside. 0 to t Vi into dt. Q is equal to one equation we have got, and take this as equation number 4. Now you compare 1 with 4. So when we compare, you can see that both are equating it to Q. So we get minus C V naught is equal to 1 by R1 0 to t Vi into dt. So every time our intention is to give out an equation for the output voltage. So V naught is equal to minus 1 by R1C integration of 0 to t Vi into dt. So this is the equation for integrator. Why does we have a negative sign here?
Invert.
This inverted waveform. Phase
Is
difference.
inverted. Yeah, phase difference between the input and output is 180 degree. So this is the equation for integrator. Similarly, the next part, what we are having is differentiator. So for differentiator, just it will be the replacement of the feedback part and the input part. We are just going to exchange. So instead of having input resistance, we'll have input capacitance. Instead of having feedback capacitance, we'll be having feedback resistor. So differentiator, here we are going to have feedback resistance RF, and here we'll have a input capacitance. So we'll have a capacitance connected to the input side. This is the only change we are having. So if you are going to give a square waveform, so it will give you some the ramp wave or sawtooth wave. So this kind of waves will be given. It is going to convert one form into another form. Again, as I told, whenever you are going to use a capacitor in the circuit, we are going to start with capacitor equation. Q is equal to CV. So CV here, what will be the voltage of the capacitor in this case? Or voltage across the capacitor?
Vi minus 0.
Vi minus Vg.
Vg.
So Vg is 0. So can we write it as CVI directly? Because Vg is 0. If you don't understand, we can write CV Vi minus Vg, and then we can take Vg is equal to 0. Okay, now we got an equation for Vi. Vi is equal to Q by C. Take this as equation number 1. After this, differentiate this equation number 1 with respect to t time period. So when we differentiate it with respect to t, we get dvi by dt is equal to, among this, which is constant? Charge or the capacitance?
Capacitance.
Capacitance. So take this as outside. So dq by dt. Now, okay, we'll rearrange it and we'll write an equation for dq by dt. So dq by dt is equal to dvi by dt. So take this as equation number 2. Do we have any equation which is relating the charge and the current?
So dq by dt is equal to I.
Yes. As the definition itself, the definition of the current itself tells that current is rate of change of charges with respect to time, or rate of flow of charges with respect to time. So from that, from the basic definition of the current itself, we are having I is equal to dq by dt. Now we are going to substitute this dq by dt, and now take this as equation number 3. Again, our original method we are going to follow. Apply KCL to node G. When you apply KCL to node G, so we get current entering is equal to current leaving. So current entering, we have already got some equations. So before that, we will first just try to know what is IF. For IF, we can write the equation as Vg minus V naught divided by RF. Because RF is lying between this terminal and this terminal, the voltage across this terminal is Vg. So Vg minus V naught by RF. Again, since Vg is equal to 0 according to the virtual ground concept, we have minus V naught by RF, that is IF. Okay. Now, take this as equation number 4. Combine equation 3 and 4. We are just substituting it. IF here and I here. So when we substitute these two in the above equation, we get dq by dt is equal to minus V naught by RF. What is missing in this equation? Can we stop it here, or something is missing in this equation? Can we stop it here, or something is missing? First of all, what is the basic component that needs to be there in the final equation?
Input
and
voltage.
output.
Yeah, input voltage and output voltage. Here we are having only the output voltage. So we need to get input voltage also. In order to get the input voltage, what we will do is take this as equation number 5. Can we equate equation 2 and 5? Can we equate these two? So when we equate it, we get minus V naught by RF is equal to C into dVi by dt, and we want an equation with respect to V naught. So V naught is equal to minus RF into C into dVi by dt. This is the equation for differentiator. So you can see here it is differentiating the given input signal. So this is the operation of the differentiator, and this is about the derivation of the differentiator. Any doubts in this, any part? If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Or if you want me to repeat any part, I can repeat. Okay. The next one is the op-amp comparator. So in the op-amp comparator, the main application of application here is to compare the given two input signal and to tell which is the maximum output, or it is going to give the comparison in different ways. Suppose if the voltage at the inverting terminal is greater, at the output side it is going to give a negative signal. If the input across the non-inverting terminal is greater, then it is going to give the output as positive signal. So that indicates the input given at the non-inverting terminal is greater. Like this, it is a simple application, but we will be using this in many of the application. It will be part of applications. So we are having plus VCC minus VEE, non-inverting, inverting. Here we are going to give the reference signal, and here we are going to give the input signal. Whatever the signal which we want to compare and tell whether it is greater than the reference or some threshold or not, that will be given here. This reference voltage, it is the threshold or some predefined value to which you need to compare, and here we will be getting the output, and we use transfer characteristics. Please remember, transfer characteristics means it is the graph which is plotted between the output and the input. It is a graph plotted between the output and input. Usually you can see all these days we were writing VI characteristics where the current was taken along y-axis and voltage was taken along x-axis, and we used to analyze the variation. But here, whenever you take two voltages together to compare, and that too output voltage and input voltage, we call it as transfer characteristics. So transfer characteristics is a graph which is going to give the variation in the output with respect to the variation in the input. So this is the variation which we are getting. This is plus VCC, and this will be minus VEE, or you can take it as minus VCC also. Both are fine. So this region, whatever we are linearly a slant line, that is known as linear region. Linear region. This is saturation region. This is also a saturation region. Fine. Here we are having two conditions. Suppose if input is greater than V reference, then output will be V naught, or you can write it as V out. Output will be equal to plus VCC. If input is less than V reference, then V out will be equal to minus VCC. Let us see now how it works. Here I told to this terminal we are going to give the voltage which we want to compare with a predefined value. Predefined value means some reference value. Let us assume that 5 volt. 5 volt is my reference. If the given input signal which is given at the non-inverting terminal is greater than negative, case 1, case 2, I'll give input as 7 volt. Now tell me whether case 1 is going to apply or case 2 is going to apply.
Case 1.
Yes, sir.
Is going to apply. During that the output will be shown as V out is equal to 5 volt. Sorry, VCC. It is shown as VCC. Whatever VCC it has, that it will be showing plus VCC. So it will be at this level. Okay. Suppose the input is very less, the input is very less. During that time, it will start going towards the negative saturation. So this is negative saturation, this is positive saturation. As I hope you remember reverse recovery time. Can anyone tell me what is reverse recovery time?
The time required for the current to reach its saturation level.
Yes, very good. So the same way here, even the op amp requires some time to shift from positive saturation to negative saturation to positive saturation. Suppose you are in the positive saturation and this becomes 4 volt. Previously it was in positive saturation, output was showing plus VCC. Now I have given the input as 4 volt. Which condition is going to hold good? Which condition holds good here? Case 1 or case 2? Reference voltage is 5, input voltage is 4. Case 1 should be considered or case 2 should be considered?
Case 2.
Case 2, right?
Yes.
According to that, V output should be equal to minus VCC. In my previous case, just before this, what was the case? What was the case? Just before this present value, in which state or in which case it was? It was under case 1, right? Case 1. So it was in the plus VCC. Now, when the input is lesser than reference voltage, it needs some time. It will take some time to come back to the negative saturation level. So that's why it is we are having this linear region. So this is how we are going to have. Suppose now it is in the negative saturation level. Here, whatever input you increase, it will be at the same level. It will be in the same level. Okay. Now I'll make this as 14 volt. Input as 14 volt. Now again, what should happen? It should again go back to the positive saturation. So it takes some time to swing between two saturation level. So during that time or during that voltage, we will be having a linear region. And sometimes what happens is for lesser values, it will be just following the output is going to just follow the input. But when it is going to cross some thresholds like this, after that it will become constant. It is in simple way, if you want to tell, it is just going to tell which is the largest among the two. If you get plus VCC at the output, then it is going to indicate or we should understand that input is greater. If it is going to give output as minus VCC, value of minus VCC, here this one can be taken as minus VCC also. If the output is equal to minus VCC, then it is understood that given input signal is smaller than the reference voltage. This is how we are going to find which signal is greater. I'll repeat it again. Whenever the output is plus VCC or positive saturation, then it indicates the given input than the reference. Whenever the output voltage is minus VCC, then it indicates the reference voltage is greater than the input voltage. So these two cases are going to be considered. So this is about the applications, op-amp applications. After that, we are having problems. Let us do a problem today.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, can you explain the graph part again?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is V out, this is V in, and plus VCC, and this is minus VCC or minus VEE. We can take. So here, whenever there is some minimum threshold which is going to be considered to just turn on the transistors which are inside the op amp. After that, it is going to maintain constant. So suppose if the input is 4 volt, V in 4 volt, and V reference is 3 volt. During that time, the output is going to follow, the output is going to reach the positive saturation. It will become maximum, and after that it will be constant. Whatever you increase, it will be constant. But if it V in is going to fall below some threshold value, threshold value means it might be some 0.7, 0.3, because these are all the drop which we are having inside the transistor. So during that time, we cannot expect the comparator to compare them. So that's why we'll be having a linear curve here. So output and input will be following each other. There will be no fixed variations. Okay. Along with that, there is one more reason. Whenever you are going to change the voltage, suppose it is maximum, it is above the threshold. Now you are changing the input to negative value. You are changing here. So while changing from positive, assume it was here. From here, it is moving. You are changing the value to this level. So whenever you are changing to this value, this is going to take some time to reach the negative saturation. During that time, what happens is output and input will be following each other. If input is 1 volt, output will also be 1 volt. If input is minus 1 volt, output input is minus 1, output will also be minus 1. If it is minus 2, this will also be minus 2, like that. But once it crosses the threshold value, that is, threshold value here will be with respect to the plus VCC and minus VEE. If your input becomes greater than that value, then it will be maintained constant. I'll repeat it again. See, we are having V reference. Okay. This is V ref. Here also V ref. If your voltage, if your input voltage becomes greater than the reference voltage, then the output goes to plus VCC. If it comes below that, then it has to go to the negative saturation, and after that it has to maintain constant negative saturation level. This indicates Vref is greater. This indicates Vin is greater. So it is going to, the graph is going to show you which is whether the input is greater or reference is greater. If your graph is, if you are getting the parameters here, that indicates the output voltage, the reference voltage is greater. If you are getting the graph in this portion, then it is going to tell input voltage is greater. Suppose you are getting in this region, it is just the changeover which is going to happen, or the transition time. So during that time, output and input will be following each other. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So after this, we are having problems. Okay. That is continued in next class. So once we are done with the problems, we are done with the chapter.
Sir,